Let me ask you something. Why do most people work very hard but still worry about money all their life? They study for years, they follow rules, they get jobs, they earn salaries, yet they live with fear. Fear of bills, fear of losing jobs, fear of retirement. Now here is another question. Why do some people who were never toppers, never had high degrees, never had big salaries, still become financially free? This book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is not about becoming rich fast. It is about thinking differently. Because money does not come from hard work alone. Money comes from understanding how money works. Today, don't listen like entertainment. Listen like your future depends on it, because it actually does. Part 1. Two Fathers, Two Worlds. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two fathers. One was his real father, highly educated, PhD holder, government job. He believed education was everything. This father is called Poor Dad. The second father was his friend's dad, no high degree, businessman, street smart. He believed learning money was everything. This father is called Rich Dad. Both loved Robert, both worked hard, both gave advice, but their advice was completely opposite. Poor Dad said, "Go to school, get good grades, get a safe job." Rich Dad said, "Learn money, learn business, build assets." Poor Dad believed job security is safety. Rich Dad believed financial freedom is safety. Robert had to choose, and this book is about that choice. Part 2. Why People Get Stuck. Most people live in what Rich Dad called the rat race. Here is how it works. You get a job, you get a salary, you feel happy. Then expenses increase. House rent, EMI, car loan, lifestyle. Now you need more money, so you work harder, ask for a promotion, take more stress. More income, more expenses, more stress. This loop never ends. People think, if I earn more, my problems will end. But Rich Dad said, if you don't change thinking, problems grow. This is why rich people don't chase salary, they chase cash flow. Part 3. Rich people don't work for money. This lesson shocks people. Rich Dad said, poor and middle class work for money. Rich people make money work for them. If you stop working today, will money still come? If not, you are working for money. True freedom means even when you stop working, income continues. Examples: rent income, business income, investments, royalties. Rich people build income streams. Poor people depend on one salary. That is dangerous. Part 4. Assets versus liabilities. This is the heart of the book. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Very simple. But most people misunderstand this. They think big house equals asset, new car equals asset. But if it takes money every month, it is a liability. Rich people buy assets first. Poor people buy liabilities and hope salary will save them. Example: poor mindset. When I earn more, I'll invest. Rich mindset. I invest first, income follows. Assets: rental property, businesses, stocks, bonds, digital assets, intellectual property. Build assets. Freedom comes slowly, permanently. Part 5. Why schools fail us. Schools teach how to get a job, how to be an employee. They don't teach taxes, investing, money psychology. That's why highly educated people struggle financially. Knowledge without financial education is incomplete. Rich Dad said, it's not about intelligence, it's about financial literacy. Part 6. Fear, risk, and failure. Most people fear losing money, so they don't invest, they don't try, they don't grow. Rich people feel fear too, but they don't let fear control decisions. They learn from mistakes. Failure is not the enemy. Doing nothing is. Part 7. Work to learn, not to earn. Poor dad said, work for salary. Rich dad said, work to learn skills. Skills build wealth. Skills last forever. Important skills: sales, communication, leadership, negotiation, financial thinking. Money follows skill. Part 8. Questions change life. Poor people say, I can't afford it. Rich people ask, how can I afford it? One closes the mind, one opens opportunity. Your questions decide your future. Part 9. Taxes and systems. Employees earn, taxed, spend. Business owners earn, spend, taxed. Rich people learn systems. They don't break rules, they learn rules. Knowledge saves money. Part 10. Money reveals character. Money doesn't change people, it shows who they are. That's why mindset comes first. Part 11. Start small, start now. You don't need big money, perfect timing. You need learning, action, patience. Small actions today build freedom tomorrow. Part 12. Why hard work alone fails. Many people believe one thing very strongly. They believe, if I work harder, I will become rich. This belief sounds good. It sounds honest. It sounds correct. But Rich Dad said something shocking. He said, hard work alone makes you tired, not rich. Let us understand this slowly. Imagine two people. Person 1 works 12 hours a day. Person 2 works 6 hours a day. Person 1 saves nothing. Person 2 invests regularly. After 20 years, who is free? Hard work without direction creates exhaustion. Hard work with knowledge creates freedom. This is why many people retire old, tired, and worried. Not because they were lazy, but because they were never taught how money works. Part 13. Why salary is a trap. A salary feels safe. Every month, money comes. Bills get paid. Life continues. But Rich Dad warned, salary is a drug. Why? Because once you depend on it, you become afraid to lose it. You stop taking risks. You stop learning. You stop growing. People stay in jobs they hate because salary gives comfort. Rich Dad said, comfort is expensive. Freedom needs discomfort first. That is why rich people are willing to look foolish, fail publicly, and start small. They know something most people don't. Comfort today creates struggle tomorrow. Part 14. Why most people hate investing. Ask someone about investing. They will say, it's risky. I can lose money. It's gambling. Rich Dad said, investing is risky only for people who don't understand it. People fear what they don't understand. That's why financial education matters. Rich people don't invest blindly. They study, they observe, they learn. Poor people avoid learning and then fear investing. Fear comes from ignorance. Confidence comes from knowledge. Part 15. The difference between income and wealth. Income is how much money you earn. Wealth is how long you can live without working. Let that sink in. If you stop working today, how long can you survive? 1 month? 6 months? 1 year? Rich Dad defined wealth this way. True wealth is time freedom. That is why high-income people can be poor and low-income people can be rich. Wealth is not visible. It grows quietly. Part 16. Why most people wait forever. People say, I'll start investing later. I'll learn when I earn more. I'll take risk after I save enough. Later never comes. Rich Dad said, waiting makes you poorer. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. You don't need perfection. You need progress. Small steps beat no steps. Part 17. Mindset of owners versus workers. Workers think, how much will I earn? Owners think, how much value can I create? Workers think, how many hours do I work? Owners think, how does this work without me? This is the biggest shift. When you think like an owner, your decisions change. You look for leverage, you build systems, you multiply effort. This is because owners know the secret. You never get rich working for money. You get rich by making money work for you. Part 18. Why money should never be your goal. This may sound strange, but Rich Dad said, if money is your goal, you will never have enough. Money is a result, not a purpose. Focus on learning, growth, value, systems. Money follows value. People who chase money remain unhappy. People who chase growth become wealthy naturally. Part 19. Silent power of compounding. Small actions done consistently create massive results. Investing small amounts, learning daily, improving skills. Compounding works quietly. Most people quit because results are slow. Rich people stay patient. They trust time. Part 20. Final deep reflection. Let me ask you something important. If money was not a problem, what would you do with your life? Would you still do the same job? Would you live the same way? Financial freedom is not about luxury. It is about choice. Choice to say no. Choice to spend time with family. Choice to live on your terms. That freedom is possible, but it starts with thinking differently. Poor people say, I work hard. Rich people say, I think smart. Poor people wait for opportunities. Rich people create them. Poor people blame system. Rich people learn system. You don't need to be rich today. You only need to start today. Because every asset you build, every skill you learn, every mindset you change is a brick in your future freedom. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. Your journey begins now. Thank you for giving your time and attention. If this audio added value to your thinking, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We share simple ideas that help you grow financially and mentally. Thank you again.